Welcome back to The Whisper Knows. This is the place where stories don't scream, they whisper. Tonight's question is simple, and once you hear it, you won't be able to unhear it. What if it's true that every mirror leads to a different version of you? Most people think mirrors only do one thing. They reflect. They repeat. They show you the same face every morning and make you believe that face is yours. But have you ever noticed how some reflections feel late? Not slow enough to prove anything, not wrong enough to explain, just off. A blink that lingers too long, a smile that seems to arrive without permission, a look in your own eyes that feels like someone else trying to understand how to wear your skin. Nora Vale noticed it 3 nights after moving into apartment 4C. The building was old, in the way old buildings always are when people describe them kindly. Charming crown molding, original hardwood floors, tall windows, antique fixtures. What they meant was this: the pipes groaned like sick lungs, the halls never held warmth, and every room seemed to carry the faint aftertaste of someone else's life. The kind of place where you could stand alone in the kitchen at midnight and still feel watched from the doorway. Nora didn't mind places like that. She preferred them. At 29, she had spent most of her life learning how to be comfortable with silence. She worked from home, restoring damaged photographs for clients she never met in person. Torn wedding portraits, water-stained baby pictures, burned edges, missing faces. She sat for hours each day, correcting the dead and repairing the forgotten. So when she first noticed the mirror in the hallway was wrong, she assumed it was exhaustion. It was a tall, antique thing, bolted to the wall just outside her bathroom. Oval glass, dark walnut frame, floral carvings blackened with age. It had probably been there longer than the building manager. The first time, she caught it while walking past. Her reflection stopped. Nora herself had taken 2 more steps before realizing the woman in the glass had not. She turned instantly. The reflection was normal again. Same gray sweater, same dark hair tied back carelessly, same tired eyes. She stood there for nearly a minute, staring at herself. Nothing. Then the reflection raised its hand. Nora did not. She stumbled backward so hard she struck the wall behind her, and the woman in the mirror smiled. Not widely, not monstrously, just like she knew something Nora didn't. Then, in a voice too soft to be heard and too clear to be imagined, her reflection mouthed 5 words. "This one is almost empty." At 3:07 a.m., every mirror in apartment 4C reflected someone still standing there after Nora had already run. Nora did not sleep that night. She dragged a chair from the kitchen into the bedroom, shoved a blanket against the gap under the door, and sat facing the wall until sunrise with every lamp in the apartment turned on. The bathroom mirror was covered with a towel. The mirrored closet doors in the hall were hidden behind bed sheets. Even the black screen of her laptop stayed closed because she could not stop imagining her own face appearing in it. A second too late. By morning, the fear felt childish. That was the problem with terror in daylight. It embarrassed itself. Sunlight made the apartment seem smaller, ordinary, even stupid. The old hardwood floors creaked because they were old. The plumbing moaned because the building was ancient. Mirrors reflected because that was their only job. So Nora did what people always do when something impossible happens to them. She made it procedural: coffee, shower, work. Her first restoration job that morning was a portrait from 1988. A family of 4 standing in front of a lake, all stiff smiles and pastel clothes. The client's request was simple: remove the mold damage, restore the daughter's face, sharpen the father's features. Nora worked in silence for nearly 2 hours until she noticed something in the digital scan that hadn't been visible before. In the reflection on the water behind the family, there were 5 people. She stared at the screen. 4 on the shore, 5 in the lake. One of them wasn't facing the camera. One of them was facing out, toward her. Nora shut the laptop so quickly she nearly snapped the screen. The apartment fell quiet again. Then came 3 knocks from the hallway mirror. Not on her front door, not from the pipes. 3 precise taps, glass against knuckle. Nora stood so fast the chair tipped over behind her. The covered mirror in the hall was motionless. The bedsheet over it hung still. Nothing moved beneath it. Then the sheet slowly bulged outward from the center, as if someone on the other side had leaned their forehead against the glass. Nora backed away. The fabric sank in again. A moment later, her phone vibrated on the desk. Unknown number. No message, just an image. She opened it and felt the blood leave her face. It was a photo of her apartment hallway taken from the far end near the bathroom. Taken seconds ago. She could see the draped mirror, the fallen chair, her own back as she stood frozen in the kitchen. And in the mirror-shaped outline beneath the sheet, there was a woman standing where Nora should have been. Same sweater, same dark hair. But this version of Nora was thinner, straighter, severe. Her head tilted at an angle no candid photograph ever catches by accident. At the bottom of the image, a new message appeared. Wrong door. Try the bedroom vanity. The bedroom vanity had no mirror. At least, it hadn't yesterday. When Nora turned toward the half-open bedroom door, she saw silver light spilling out across the floorboards, and heard her own voice from inside the room say, very calmly, "Come meet the one who stayed." Nora stood in the kitchen, staring at the silver light spilling from beneath her bedroom door. Her apartment had no light like that. Not warm like a lamp, not pale like moonlight. This light felt metallic, sharp, reflective, as if the room beyond had filled with polished glass instead of air. Then her own voice came again from inside. "Come meet the one who stayed." Same tone, same pitch, but somehow emptier, like it had learned how to sound human without learning how to breathe. Nora should have left. She knew that. But fear has a cruel twin, curiosity, and beneath both of them was something worse, recognition, the one who stayed. She crossed the apartment slowly, each floorboard groaning under her weight. By the time she reached the bedroom, she realized something was matching her steps from inside the room, always a beat behind. Nora pushed the door open. Her bedroom looked almost the same. The unmade bed, the stack of books near the window, the nightstand, the dead plant. Only one thing had changed. The old wooden vanity in the corner now had a mirror attached to it. Tall, rectangular, framed in tarnished silver, and the glass did not reflect her room. It showed another one. Same shape, same furniture, same window, but cleaner, better, controlled. The bed was neatly made. The books were stacked. The plant was alive. The curtains swayed in a breeze that did not exist in Nora's apartment. And seated at the vanity was Nora. Not exactly Nora, a better edited version. Her posture was straighter, her skin clearer, her face calm, her eyes brighter in a way that felt wrong, like light shining on a blade. The other Nora brushed her hair and met her gaze through the glass. Then she smiled. "You look tired," she said. Nora's throat tightened. "What is this?" The reflection set the brush down. "This is a version that stayed," she said. "And you are a version that kept walking." Nora stepped back. The other Nora rose and moved closer to the mirror. "When I first saw you," she said softly, "you were still useful." A pale hand touched the inside of the glass beside her face. Then another appeared behind it. Not Nora's reflection. Someone else was standing just out of sight in that silver room. Mirror Nora didn't look away. "Every mirror leads somewhere," she whispered. "And one of them already chose you." At that exact moment, from the hallway behind Nora, every covered mirror in apartment 4C knocked once. Together. Nora spun toward the hallway. For a second, she saw nothing. Then the first bedsheet slipped from the hall mirror and collapsed soundlessly to the floor. The glass beneath it was dark, not reflective, deep, as if the mirror no longer showed the hallway, but another corridor behind it. Then the second sheet fell. Then the third. Every mirror in apartment 4C now stood uncovered, each one reflecting a different version of the same space. In one, the hallway was burned black. In another, the walls were stained with water. In another, the apartment looked abandoned for years, plaster peeled away, doors hanging open like broken jaws. And in every reflection, Nora was there. Not one Nora, many. A frightened Nora backing away, a bruised Nora with split lips, a smiling Nora in a black dress, an older Nora with gray in her hair, a hollow-eyed Nora staring as though she had been waiting a very long time. None of them moved exactly when she did. The nearest mirror gave a soft click. Its surface rippled. A hand pressed out from inside. Nora ran. She bolted back into the bedroom and slammed the door behind her, shoving the vanity sideways with all her strength. The wood scraped hard across the floor, but the silver mirror did not shake. Mirror Nora watched her calmly. "That won't stop them," she said. Nora grabbed the brass lamp from the nightstand and held it like a weapon. "Tell me what this is." The other woman's expression changed. Not pity, not kindness, something colder. "You notice too many delays," she said. "That's how it starts. A reflection lingers. A smile arrives early. A movement belongs to the wrong thought. Once you see it often enough, the mirrors know you can see doors." A knock came from inside the bedroom closet mirror, then another. Nora looked. The closet doors were closed, but beneath the thin seam of their reflection, she could see feet standing on the other side. Bare feet. Too still. Mirror Nora spoke faster now. "Every version wants something. Some want your life. Some want your face. Some just want out. The more broken they are, the harder they knock." The closet mirror shuddered. A crack spread slowly across the glass. Nora's pulse slammed in her throat. "Why are you helping me?" For the first time, the other Nora seemed uncertain. "I'm not," she said. "I'm helping myself." Then she raised one finger and pointed toward Nora's real bathroom. "Behind your medicine cabinet," she whispered. "There's a mirror that was never meant to be opened. If they reach you first, don't look inside it." The bedroom door handle began to turn, slowly, carefully. And from the hallway came Nora's own voice, trembling and sweet. "It's okay. I found the right one now." The bedroom door handle twitched once, then turned further. Nora backed toward the bathroom, never taking her eyes off it. The brass lamp shook in her hands. On the other side of the door, her own voice came again, soft and trembling. "It's okay. I found the right one now." Then another voice answered. also hers, then a third, layered, whispering, smiling through the words. Nora slipped into the bathroom and shut the door behind her. The room was small, cold, and too bright. She locked it, then turned to the medicine cabinet above the sink. Her reflection in its mirrored front did not match her. This Nora was crying. Real Nora was not. The reflected woman lifted a finger to her lips. Mirror Nora's warning came back instantly. Behind your medicine cabinet, there's a mirror that was never meant to be opened. Nora grabbed the cabinet door and pulled. Inside were the usual things: toothpaste, painkillers, cotton swabs, a half-empty bottle of mouthwash, and behind them, set into the recess in the wall, was another mirror, small, round, black around the edges like something burned into the silver. It did not reflect her face. It reflected a narrow room with no door, concrete walls, a chair bolted to the floor, a single dangling chain. And sitting in the chair was Nora, not another polished version, not a broken one either. This Nora looked exhausted, older somehow, her wrists bruised, her expression hollow from too much waiting. She lifted her head slowly and stared straight out of the hidden mirror. Then she spoke. They send the hungry ones first. A violent bang hit the bathroom door. Nora flinched. The lock bent inward. The trapped Nora in the hidden mirror kept speaking fast. You have one chance. Every apartment has a root mirror. The first one. The one all the others grow from. In this building, it isn't in the hallway. It isn't the vanity. It's behind the wall in the laundry room downstairs. Another bang. This time the wood splintered. Outside, several versions of Nora were speaking at once now. Some crying, some laughing, some begging to be let in. The hidden Nora leaned close to the glass. When the root mirror opens, one version stays, one crosses. That's why they keep choosing. Nora's grip tightened on the lamp. Why should I trust you? The woman in the black-edged mirror gave a tired, awful smile. Because I'm the version that already trusted the wrong one. The bathroom lights flickered. The mirror over the sink rippled like water, and from within it, pale fingers began pushing through the glass. The fingers came through slowly. First the tips, then the knuckles, then the hand, pale and wet with shining glass, reaching out of the bathroom mirror as if the silver had turned to skin. Nora swung the lamp. The bulb exploded against the mirror with a sharp burst of light. The hand recoiled instantly, vanishing back into the rippling surface. Cracks raced across the glass, splitting her reflection into jagged pieces. Outside, the bathroom door gave way. Wood snapped. Voices rushed in. Her own voice multiplied, calling her name from different mouths. Nora grabbed the medicine cabinet shut and ran. She burst into the hallway and nearly froze. Every mirror in apartment 4C was alive now. In each one, a different Nora pressed against the glass. Some pounded with fists. Some only stared. One smiled with blood in her teeth. Another looked terrified and mouthed, "Don't let them see you choose." The front door slammed on its own. The apartment lights died. Only mirror light remained. Cold, silver, endless. Nora ran for the stairwell, shoulder-checking through the building door and stumbling into the dark hallway beyond. Below her, deep in the building, came the old mechanical rattle of the basement laundry room. She ran down all 4 flights. By the time she reached the basement, the voices were following her through every reflective surface she passed. Window glass, framed notices, even the chrome pipe along the wall. Her own face flashed beside her in pieces, keeping pace. The laundry room door stood open. Inside, rows of dead machines sat in silence. At the far wall was a mirror taller than a door, hidden behind hanging plastic sheets. Its frame was iron black, bolted directly into brick. The surface was not still. It moved like deep water, trying to remember how to hold a face. And there, standing before it, was Mirror Nora, calm, waiting. "You made it," she said. Nora stopped, breathless. "You wanted this?" Mirror Nora smiled sadly. "Of course. No one escapes alone." The great mirror began to brighten. Behind its surface, countless versions of Nora gathered in layers of silver depth, all watching. Nora understood then. This was never about choosing the right mirror. It was about feeding the first one. Mirror Nora stepped aside and held out a hand towards the glass. "Just one step," she whispered, "and one of us finally gets to stay." Nora looked at the machines, the pipes, the polished metal lids around her. Reflections everywhere, doors everywhere. So she did the only thing left. She reached behind her, found the red emergency gas valve by the dryers, and twisted it open. Mirror Nora's smile vanished. Then Nora lifted the cracked brass lamp, struck the sparking wire against the iron frame, and the basement disappeared in white fire. The next morning, firefighters found the laundry room destroyed. No mirror, no body, no sign Nora Vale had ever been there. But tenants still say that in apartment 4C, every mirror reflects a different woman. And sometimes, very late at night, one of them smiles with relief. This has been The Whisper Knows. And if every mirror leads to a different version of you, be careful which one is trying to come back. Good night.
Subscribe if you dare to listen.
Was